Hello and welcome to the Problematic Sticker Anime Podcast. I will be your host today, Gary. I welcome you. I am joined by three other amazing hosts. Let's introduce them. Ben!
Hello. How are you?
Who's laughing in the background?
Nobody.
Ben, how are you?
I'm not bad. How about you?
I'm pretty good. How has the anime been for you this
It's
week?
been pretty good. I've been watching the Borutos. I've been watching the weekly anime.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been pretty good.
I'm glad to hear.
When I started watching JoJo, I felt like I've watched some of it before. Some of it felt familiar, but I guess maybe I watched the first few episodes.
Maybe, or you probably saw a bunch of GIFs and turned it into an episode.
No, I remember.
Is this a JoJo reference?
JoJo is very GIF friendly.
Mimi.
So. Yes.
Mimi.
Very Mimi.
I do not know this Mimi.
Me.
Well, as you heard there, Chuckles, Mr. Timothy Nunes. Hello.
That was still funny. I welcome you.
What do you want me to say?
Welcome to my podcast. No, I welcome you.
I welcome you. Welcome. I welcome you.
So much hate. Tim.
Tim, I welcome
How's the
you.
anime been this week? Oh my god.
It's been okay. To be fair, I had a jump start
Okay.
on the anime, so it was easy. But yeah.
Just okay. Wow, okay. Let's see how it is.
Well, we didn't talk much this week, so it was only okay.
Yeah. He
Yes,
missed you.
and returning, the God Man himself, the Nightbringer.
God Baka.
Hello.
There it is. Yes. Yes.
That sounds wrong. That sounds like Chewbacca motorboating someone.
Yes.
Even better.
It is headcanon for Chili now.
It's
You
what
said it like it's bad, man.
he and Han do when they're really bored on a speedrun.
Oh my god.
But he only
Well,
takes
they've
what
got
is it?
12 parsecs.
Yeah, he only takes 12 parsecs.
You can't have parsecs without
Sex.
Par.
without par for the course. That's right. Par for the
That's par for the sex.
Par means he hits just enough holes.
There's the sticker. There's the first sticker.
Good night, folks.
We hit our quota. We're done.
You guys are just the worst.
No,
you mean
or
Host here,
are we
and you're ruining.
Or are we the
ruining
best?
Happy day for me.
Will you welcome us?
I welcome you. Maybe I'll kick you out, then.
I can't.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't welcomed. I was just
Yeah.
said to be here.
You never welcomed Klaus, dude. He's got the God voice, and you're just like, whatever, Klaus, whatever.
I kind of want to
What are you
make it.
talking about? I welcomed everybody.
You know, when Dreams comes out, I kind of want to make an NPC just sits there and says, "I welcome you."
Make him look like Chewbacca.
Yeah, he just says, "I welcome you."
We gotta get. Can we make recordings? Like, can we get a recording
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
You can make your own music and everything.
Well, no, they disabled that in the beta.
Yeah, the betas was kind of limited, but they're opening up, I think,
Yeah.
all types, like the camera, the microphones.
Well,
all
no,
of that are
someone
gonna
was
be opened up,
abusing
aren't
it with copyright stuff, so that's why they removed it in the beta until they could fix some stuff. So,
Yeah,
who knows
that
if
could
it's
be
actually...
problematic.
Well, alrighty then. Dreams. This is the video game podcast.
The great anime.
Hey, it's create anything you want, so technically you can make anime in it.
That is true. You could do that.
Oh, jeez. Alrighty. I have a tiny bit of news
Oh,
before we get into the weeklies. It's somewhat been reported, still rumored, that Funimation is going to be redubbing Brawly's voice for the Blu-ray release
Yeah.
because of all the controversy going on with Vic Mignonga. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry for that. He's been
I don't think he
accused of a
deserves
lot
it,
of...
sorry.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve it?
No. No, he
What do you
doesn't
mean,
deserve an apology. That's what I meant. You
Oh,
apologize
for
for
being
saying...
recast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, lots of stuff coming out about him and sexual harassment claims and all that stuff with fans and even some of his coworkers. He's been, I guess, in a feud with Sean Shamel as well, who does the voice of Goku in the English dub. So Funimation has said after the Broly movie came out in theaters that they will no longer be working with him on any future projects, and there's now these talks that they are redubbing the voice of Broly, which to me isn't that big of a loss because he didn't really have too many lines of dialogue outside of screaming at everybody.
I'm available if you need somebody. So
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
amazing.
I need Klaus's God voice.
Yes!
I can do it.
Yes!
I did it!
Smash!
Oh my god, they should redub Zamazu now with Klaus's God voice.
Say it again.
no, it's all right.
So that is happening. A lot of angry people, a lot of people defending him. Obviously, he has a massive fan base. He's one of the most known voice actors in anime for English dubs. So kind of sad news in a way. He also played Alphonse Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm sure there's an anime that you love where he's been a voice in. So could be career ending for him. We'll see. We don't know. But Funimation will no longer be working with him on any dubs that they do, which is a lot of dubs. So, but yeah.
Just goes to show if you're an asshole, you're gonna, it's gonna come around and bite you in the butt.
Yep.
Oh.
What about you, Tim? What is your thoughts on that? Because you love Broly. You love him very much.
I love the way that Broly is depicted, but so much of his depiction is created by those around him. So Vic's loss is not a big loss at all.
The great thing about the Broly character in the movie wasn't his voice, but was the way he reacted around people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So yeah, he also commented while filming or recording audio for Dragon Ball that he was not enjoying it because of all the screaming he had to do. Well, welcome to Dragon Ball voice acting.
Yeah, dude, what do you
That's
expect?
what you do.
Screaming in my Dragon Ball? That's not my favorite Mass Effect.
I don't think he plays Mass Effect, Ben.
Monica Rial, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. She is the English voice of Bulma.
Mm-hmm.
She released a statement about it. You can go read it on her Twitter if you'd like to. I'm sure you can find it online. It's a big statement that I'm not going to read the whole thing. But she tried to address it with him. He refused to really take her criticism of his behavior. But, yeah, go read that if you want to. But a lot of other voice actors that have worked with him have been coming out and saying, yeah, that's pretty much how he was. And a lot of them don't even want to work with him anymore.
Kind of insane how
haven't for a
so many
while.
people just tolerated it for so long, because I've seen that a lot too. It's like, yeah, we know what to expect when it comes to Vic, but there's not much we can do. And like,
yeah, and I guess it's kind of one of those things. Like, he's so high profile in the industry that he can kind of pretty much ruin your career if you speak out against him. So a lot of people didn't.
what a wank.
Yeah.
Just sad wank.
Kotaku in their IO9 section of their website did a fantastic feature about it. I highly recommend you guys go read it. There's a lot of interviews that they did with people who have accused him. They try to reach out to him. He obviously does not want to comment a lot about it. I highly recommend reading it, though. It is called One of Anime's Biggest Voices Accused of Sexual Harassment. That's what the article is called. But yeah, sad times, because my friend Corey, he loves him. He's met him like 4 or 5 times since he's been to Utah here for, I believe it's Anime Bonsai he showed up at. So really sad. I know he's kind of depressed about it too. If it is true, of course. It's not confirmed that it's true, but chances are it is.
Well, we still have Steve Blum.
Yeah. And Christopher Sabat.
Yes.
Pretty much does the voice of everything now. He's still awesome. But yeah, that's kind of the news there. So if you're getting the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie coming out in April, I believe it is.
I think so.
You may be hearing a different voice. Funimation hasn't announced it officially yet, so we'll see. We'll see what
Support
happens.
the new voice actor, everyone.
Uh,
Buy the movie. Buy the movie.
Just buy the movie in general.
I'm gonna buy
Yeah.
a movie, but I kind of hope for a collector's edition.
Oh my god, same.
Even if it's just a still tin, I'd like a still tin version of it.
I mean, if you buy it on the Funimation website, you get
In America.
you get a Goku in his winter suit standing. So
I don't even know what
Dude,
one of
I
those
want
is.
one of those coats.
you want one of those coats?
That's
Okay,
Yeah,
your
dude.
Your collector edition is $400.
Dude, I get a Super Saiyan coat. Wait, what actually you don't know about it is when you whip it off, you turn Super Saiyan God.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing.
You gotta
It's the
do it.
coat that holds the power.
You have to get the pose correct, though. If you don't get the pose correct, it doesn't work. It's like the fusion dance.
Well, duh, of course. This is TBT, man.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's
by the
fantastic.
way, I heard that the original voice of the British Goku is going to be at Seacon this year. So yeah, if you want to meet the original big green dove version of Goku, he's going to be there.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, really? There's a British voice cast?
Yeah, the
Yes,
big green dove.
Quite.
That threw me off for a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
the big green dove. No, don't do
They
it.
ask for tea and scones quite frequently.
That's all Goku drinks and eats.
Everyone makes fun of him because he
More
doesn't
scones, please.
10 times crumpet, Kyle.
10 times crumpet.
Team me,
Ben, did you just make fun of your own culture?
Yeah, why not? Coyote.
Oh my
Coyote
god.
what?
Teo-Ken?
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
The special
okay.
bean fish and chips.
What?
Stop
Right.
it! Stop it! Stop it, Ben!
Just a beam of fish with chips going around it.
Stop it! I got that image now. Like, oh my god. And it's awful because all the fish I'm seeing is just carp and bullheads just flying at people. It's awful. Garbage fish. Thanks for that.
No worries. You're welcome.
I welcome you.
I welcome you. You know I'm going to name the podcast that this week, right?
I welcome you.
I welcome you.
You're welcome that I gave you guys that.
Thank you for giving us memes.
I knew it. I knew it'd come out.
Yes. Anyways, moving on. Weeklies. It's weekly time. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go talk about Naruto first this time. Or Boruto.
Boruto?
Boruto.
No,
Sorry.
let's go back and talk about Naruto. Let's travel back in time.
So let's see. This time, 3 years ago, and no, I don't even remember what was on.
It was a long
Anyway.
time
It was
ago.
probably a filler episode.
You mean kind of like what we had in Boruto this week?
To be fair, the last few
Aha.
episodes have been filler, which is... I actually like the filler almost as much as the seasons. I know that
If
sounds
they're-
weird, but I like the... Which one are you going to bring up today? Because I didn't bring up the one with the gifts last time. You know, the Fathers and Daughters Day. Well, Fathers and
You
Kids.
mean Parent-Child Day?
Yeah, Parent-Child Day.
Yeah, because they're on they're on their second episode this week, or
Yeah.
the episode from this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Was the second episode. You didn't talk about the first one where they
I didn't
went
talk about
after
the first
the
one either. No.
Okay. So yeah, new filler arc started 2 weeks ago. Was it's Parent-Child Day in Konoha. It's a new holiday that started by the Hokage Naruto to kind of get families out there and
Spending time together.
hopefully raise spirits within the Hidden Leaf Village.
Yeah.
So the first episode was Naruto and Himawari going out shopping because Himawari wanted this amazing little doll of the Ninetales.
Yeah, something like Kuriyama-ku.
Yeah, Kuriyama.
Yeah.
And so it was super limited edition, of course.
Yeah.
I think it was a spin-off of, or a spoof of the Hatchimal, because you have to like hatch it out of an egg, and
Ew.
then you get the Kurama, and
You have
you
to
can
feed
it and
food
take care
pills.
of it, and yeah.
I was hoping that there would be like a little twist where you find out it's actually Choji's family that's making them, because Choji's family makes the food pills, and it's just deployed to have kids buy food pills.
But anyway, Naruto was up all the night before, finishing plans for all of the food stands and security and all of that, the behind the scenes stuff to get the Parent-Child Day festivities running smoothly.
Yeah.
So he arrives home at bright and early in the morning.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna guess
Himawari
like,
is.
I know it sounds weird, but I'm guessing about like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah, well, Himawari was at the bottom of the stairs sleeping, waiting
was
for Naruto to show up. Boruto had just walked out the door because he was now going to do his daily training.
Yeah.
And he's like, Himawari waited for you, so you better make sure to,
Well, I think that was a lie. He just knew that Himawari is younger than him, so deserves a bit more time with her father.
Yeah, he felt, a little bit upset. He wanted to hang out too, but like I said, he looks out for his sister. He loves his sister. He wants to make sure that she has a good day, and he doesn't want her to have the same animosity that he has towards Naruto.
Yeah.
He's actually a really good big brother.
He really is.
Even though he's a little bit of a punk. So anyway, they go out. They try and get one of these dolls, but there's huge lines everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I got one. It was so easy. There were so many of them." And he pulls it out, and it's actually the One Tails.
Yeah, Shukaku. Okay. Which I found
He's
funny
so
because
tired.
it sounded like they're like, "Oh, that's the Chinese knockoff version." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "That's
Man,
the
it's like-
knockoff Ninetales." I'm
Knocked
like,
off from the Hidden Sand version.
Knock off of Bukaki?
"Yeah, sure." The knockoff.
I don't even want to know what that would look like.
Yeah,
It looks like that.
yeah, it's like
I get it.
it's like this.
All right, so then they continue their search. End up, who was it that ended up getting one for them?
Well, Kiba does.
Kiba, yeah. Kiba ended up finding one.
With his little baby doggy as well.
Yeah,
Akabari.
Akamaru.
Akamaru.
And then another little
Yeah, it's like
ninja hound.
Akimaru or something like that.
But anyway, Akamaru had found one and had gotten it, was bringing it over, but ended up getting swapped for a bag of hamburgers.
Which, to be fair, I've had that problem in real life. But oh my god, I bought a video game. Now it's a
Why is
KFC.
there a hamburger in here?
Now there's a KFC. Where did this come from?
But to be fair, Akamaru didn't get fed that day, so he was a little hungry and a little bit angry at Kiba. So they end up chasing after the person who had swapped the bags, and ended up being a ninja who was supposed to be out at some guard post on the border, and was going to end up missing Parent-Child Day, and he ended up coming back in so he could get this for his son. And then this all goes down, and Naruto's like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to make sure that to show up tomorrow for gate duty,
Yeah.
gate guard duty, instead of going out to the borderland." And he was like, "Are you mad at me?" Then he's like, realizes no, he just said that you can now go home, spend the day with your son, and then go out and stay in Konoha instead of having to go far away for your next mission. So Naruto has a heart.
And not only that, but Himawari gave her toy away to the kid because she's sweet.
Yep. So they let them keep it. She already had the Shukaku, and she had gotten a couple of cute sunflowers from Ino, And,
and then she got a little shuriken necklace
from 1010.
1010. So yeah, she got a load of gifts anyway, and she was happy with what she got.
And she had to spend all day with her daddy.
Yeah, she was like, "You be the best Hokage, daddy," and he was like, "Oh."
And it was all like, "Oh," so it was cute. And then the second episode we've gotten so far in this filler. Well, like I said, but we haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
So the second one goes, and it's basically it's a very Choji and Chocho focused episode because it involves an eating contest.
This is the best one.
Why don't you talk about this bit? Because I know how much you like Chocho and Choji.
I don't remember much of this one actually. I watched the other one twice because I like Himawari. So
okay. Well, basically, it starts off with these people planning and scheming, saying, "Oh, this person has to be stopped. We can't have this happen again year after year." Ends up being the people who run the Ichiraku ramen shop. They had put the prize up for the eating contest, and they wanted to stop Choji from winning again. Because if he won again, they'd go bankrupt from the winnings.
Well, it's like when they worried at one point because they gave Naruto an all-you-can-eat pass at one point.
Yeah.
You don't give people like that, it's like giving me an all-you-can-eat pass. You just don't do it.
Yeah, it's like if Nando's were to give you an all-you-can-eat.
Nando's would be bankrupt by the weekend. I'd be just sat there until they closed.
It's all you can eat, not eat all you can. Anyway, so we see Choji and Chocho are entered in this contest, as are Inojin and Sai, and Shikadai and Shikamaru, and who else of note? Rock Lee and Metal Lee are in it as well. And then unfortunately, Metal Lee gets all nervous, and he doesn't even get to take a first bite before they end up having to put the broadcast on technical difficulties because he threw up.
Rock Lee's best boy.
Yeah, but Metal Lee is a little bit too nervous. So, but Rock Lee is awesome, yes. So they end up. There's a new group in town that decided, or that are challenging Choji and Chocho, and they are they're Glut and Ton, the Gluttons.
Man, what twists of names!
What twist? Yeah, right. And so, not only do are they big eaters, but they also have the advantage of they were actually brought in by the owners of the ramen shop to try and take the prize away, so that way they're not going to go bankrupt from Choji sitting in there and eating them out of all their profits. And basically it gets discovered at the end when Boruto is walking back there, and he discovers that they've got all of these extra burgers from the part of the contest where they were supposed to eat this as many super spicy burgers as possible. They're chili specials.
Yes.
I know you were probably just drooling over those chili.
Yeah.
And he takes a bite of one, and it's not spicy at all. And it says that it was for Glut and Ton. Mm. And then he sees a box that says special bowls. Because the last, the finals had them eating bowls of red bean and mochi, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Where Choji and Chocho had standard bowls that were standardly deep. The Gluttons, their bowls were the same size, but they were only like about an inch deep. So they were going through a lot more bowls a lot faster. And as soon as that was found and they were discovered, the lady the matron of the company she cast a ninjutsu of, what was it? Infinite mochi. And caused all the mochi to expand and grow and continue to get bigger and bigger. And they're like, oh my god, what are we going to do with all this mochi? And Choji used his expansion jutsu, ate all the mochi, and then uses butterfly jutsu to burn off all the calories.
Smart move. Good combo.
Yes. I wish I could do that.
I wish I could do
I need a butterfly jutsu.
I like that, but it's one of the prettiest jutsus.
Yes. And it's cool looking, and it's great for weight loss.
Yeah.
So, Choji, and why do I keep saying Chochi?
I don't.
Because
Maybe it's a fusion
words.
of the two.
Yes, Chochi. We'll call them that. The Akamichis, how's that? Win the contest, and all is well again. And there's, I believe, at least one more episode in this filler arc.
Yeah, with Sasuke and Sarada.
Yep. So that'll be an interesting watch as well.
Also, there's some innuendo at the end of this episode where it looks like Choji's packing. So, yeah.
I must have missed that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's right at the end of the episode, and she's like, says something about like, it's not about the quality of the meat, it's about the size. And then she starts.
Oh my god, yes.
When they ask about Choji, she blushes. So yeah. As we know, he's using the partial expansion jutsu on part of his body.
Oh my.
I knew it. The Naruto franchise is.
Anyway, so far I'm enjoying this filler arc much better than the one with the what do you call it, where they were on guard duty at the studio.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that good. Mainly because it annoyed. It was horrible to the best girl, Chocho.
Yeah. This one is better so far, but it's still filler. So I'm just wondering how long it's going to be until we start up again on the main storyline.
Who knows?
All right.
So yeah, that's Boruto for the last 2 weeks.
That's Boruto. Did we skip last week's dailies?
No, we caught up to the previous ones. Because remember, we hadn't done it for a while, so.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, on to Fairy Tail then. I guess I'll take over for that one. I know Klaus is further ahead than I am.
Yeah, so I have to remember what episode you're on now.
Okay, so I am on the episode. The last episode that I watched was the one where they defeated Agile, the sand guy, with the big old cannon that blasted him out into space.
Okay. So was this episode the one where here? You tell me which one, because I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Okay, so the episode that aired this week, so pretty much Lucy found herself face to face with, I believe, I now know her name is Brandish. She is the member of the Strigan 12 that is able to shrink and enlarge anything that she wants. So islands, buildings, whatever the hell she wants. And she's about to fight her, and then Kana shows up, and Kana is the tarot card magic user. Really cool character. Not a lot of screen time in the past seasons, but she had her whole story arc that they dealt with a couple of seasons ago, which was pretty nice. So her and Lucy were about to take on Brandish, only to find out that Brandish has severe allergies to pollen. And while she was sneezing up a storm, Kana just walked up and punched her in the back of the head, knocking her out. Which was kind of hilarious, because Lucy was like, did that really just happen? She's so powerful. And Kana was like, well, she just left herself wide open. So they knocked her out, and they are taking her back to the Fairy Tail Guild Hall, which I personally think is a bad idea because of what her power is. And in a way, I feel like this is kind of a ploy on Brandish's part to get into the Fairy Tail Guild secretly without having to really fight anybody. But I guess I'll find out in the future. Meanwhile, the what's it called? Freed, who is kind of the guy who's keeping up the shield around the city, protecting it from the invading forces. And he is about to come toe-to-toe with one of the Stricken 12 called Wall. And before Wall gets to him, he has to go through Gray and Juvia and a couple of the other Fairy Tail members there. And he uses this robotic army to fight for him. And they think that it's going to be really easy, only to find out that their powers are pretty much useless to them, to these robots, because these robots are using the opposite powers against them. So they're essentially not just canceling them out, but they're also pretty much using their weaknesses against them. So obviously Gray's weakness will be fire, and Juvia's, we found out, is steam. And the reason these robots know their weaknesses is because Wall's special magic is he's able to read the weaknesses of anybody he fights and pretty much exploit it right away. So they are essentially useless against the enemies that they're fighting. And while Gray and them are busy fighting these robots, Wall takes off to go to the church where Freed is keeping up this barrier, so he can take down the barrier, so it's a lot easier for the invading forces to get in. As he arrives there, they find out that the Thunder Region, minus Loxus, who is holed up in the Fairy Tail Guild, waiting there for, you know, whatever mission he's going to be sent to by, what's her name? Mavis-on. So he's there, so the Thunder Region, the three members of the Thunder Region are there to protect, well, the two members are there to protect Freed. And as Wall arrives, they find out that they are completely powerless against them because he, again, is able to read their weakness. Only right before they're kind of about to be taken out, one of the best characters in the show, in my opinion, Ichiya, arrives. And Ichiya is the head of the Blue Pegasus Guild. And he is not the brightest tool in the shed, but he provides a lot of comic relief. He arrives and Wall decides to scan him to see what his weakness is, only to find out that he has never seen a wizard with as many weaknesses as Ichiya has. And it dumbfounds him because he doesn't know which weakness to use against him to take him out. So Ichiya decides to use an electric attack on Wall because Wall is a robot and he thinks that, you know, he can fry his circuits. But Wall explains to them that before he can, you know, fight anybody, he had to remove his own weaknesses. So he essentially found a way to bypass his electrical weakness and harness it to become more powerful. So as Ichiya blasts him with electrical powers, he got more powerful, and he just decided that instead of really worrying about Ichiya, he just pretty much kicked him one time and then punched him a few times when he was down to kind of essentially knock him out. And, you know, they try to like form a team to take down the Wall, but because of his ability to know their weaknesses, it's very hard for them. But right at the nick of time, Gray and Juvia discover that instead of fighting the robots that they're supposed to be fighting, they switched it up. So Gray decided to attack the robot who had the weakness against Juvia, and Juvia attacked the robot that had the fire prowess against Gray. And that was kind of the weaknesses that they discovered, and it's what they told them to do against Wall. And once they discovered that and decided to work as a team, they were able to defeat Wall pretty easily. And we also found out that Freed, through all his training, had acquired this incredibly badass transformation form that he used to defeat Wall. But right before they could celebrate in victory, Wall had one final move where he pretty much self-destructed. And right before he self-destructed, the Thunder Legion jumped in to save Ichiya's life, knocking themselves out, essentially, and the barrier at that point had disappeared. Which, at this point, we find out that Wall wasn't actually, you know, a member of the Spriggan 12, he was a robot being controlled by somebody else. The real true member, whose name is also Wall, he was on a ship in the Navy fleet, or the Navy, pretty much moving in from, I believe it's the east side. I'm not sure 100% from which side they're moving in, but they're slowly moving into the battle. And
He's
Wall,
in the south.
what was that?
He's in the south.
From the south, okay. And Wall, he's able to pretty much create this mechanical cannon out of thin air, because I guess his power is to create machines. And he blasts this massive energy wave at the Fairy Tale Guild, hoping to kill everybody there. And I believe they said it's like something like 60 kilometers away, and like nobody can make that shot. But he tries it. And because there's no barrier to stop it now, they find out that this big energy blast is coming for them. They start freaking out. And that's when Ichiya flies in on his precious Christina ship that they used to rescue Makarov from prison when he was captured. He sacrifices that to take the blast of the cannon, essentially destroying his ship. And then he brings out a call to every Fairy Tale Guild in the land to come and help fight these invading forces.
Every Fairy Tale Guild, huh?
Oh, sorry, every guild.
Hey, Fairy Tale, come help Fairy Tale.
No, every guild to come help Fairy Tale. Which I was under the assumption they were supposed to be coming anyway, because Magnolia is being invaded. But I guess they're just doing their own thing until Ichiya sent out this distress signal to pretty much bring everybody to Magnolia to help fight Alvarez's invading forces. Also, in this episode, we saw Natsu and Gagio. They defeated the flying, the big flying ships. I don't remember what their team was called. They were being led by Agio. They finally defeated everybody, and all the ground forces were defeated as well. Natsu ran in and he saved Urza as she was falling from the sky because the ship she was on was destroyed. Urza right now is kind of out of the fight because it drained so much of her power fighting Agio. So yeah, right now it's kind of, everything's calmed down a little bit since the invading forces have been repelled. Obviously, the Navy fleet is moving in, and we also found out that what's his name? The leader of the Alvarez forces.
Zareth?
Yes, Zareth. He did not underestimate Fairy Tale, even though he knew the Spriggan 12 infinitely more powerful. He didn't send just a few. He sent his entire force there, knowing because he knew just how powerful, the forces they're going up against really are.
Yep, they may have stopped 3, but there are 9 more coming from 3 different sides.
There's a lot more coming. Than it was kind of the big thing at the start of this big conflict, where like they're sending 3 of them. We only thought they're only going to send 1, and it's getting pretty hectic now. So, excuse me. But yeah, that was this episode. I'm really enjoying the season so far. It's letting a lot of the secondary and third characters shine in this war, because it's not really all on Natsu. Actually, Natsu has kind of been in the back burner for the last few episodes here, so it hasn't really been about him. It's been about everybody else, and I'm enjoying it. Again, I'm really enjoying the season. I can't wait to see where it's heading. So.
Oh, there's a lot of good stuff coming yet.
I'm very happy about it.
You're going to really enjoy the next episode.
Yeah, I saw the preview. Natsu's going in to take on Zareth now, so in the preview episode. So I'm very excited. Can't wait for this fight. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was the episode of Fairy Tale. Yeah, I guess it's JoJo time, right? Ben?
Yeah, JoJo time.
JoJo!
JoJo.
JoJo.
Timothy Noons.
What up?
It's JoJo time, baby. Are you ready?
Am I ready?
Is your body ready?
Dude, I'm always
Before
ready.
we start with JoJo, though, I want to say the JoJo that we all watched, or some of us are still watching, is not the JoJo that everybody sees every day. That JoJo is season 2, pretty much, or season 3 if you really want to get into the details there. Which I thought was really cool. I love the way they did it. We got a backstory, a very long backstory, 26 episode backstory, before we got to modern day JoJo and where JoJo is right now. But please, Tim, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, your recommendation. Take it away.
Well, I like it.
Great episode, guys.
Yeah, this was fun. What do you guys think? 10 out of 10? Cool. Okay, let's go. I don't know. I never know how to lead into this kind of stuff. But
Well, what made you want everybody to watch it?
a bit of peer pressure. But mostly, it's something I've been trying to consume for the last year or two, and just because it's everywhere and everyone talks about it, and I see it all over on YouTube channels and memes and things like that, like why you should watch JoJo's, and like I got my first glimpse, I think, about a year and a half ago on Super Eye Patch Wolf's page, YouTube channel, and he talked about like you mentioned, Gary. You talked about Jotaro, which is the grandson of Jonathan Joestar, like the very first JoJo. And like some of the stuff that I saw in there, I'm like, wow, this is cool shit. Like I love this art style. I love the distortion of colors. I love just the articulation of imagery. I really just love everything about what's going on. And even without context, it was interesting to me. So I wanted to just dig into it, and life choices and backlogs and clinical depression, just random things getting in the way. I just kept putting it off and kept putting it off and kept putting it off, and just recently, I have a lot of time on my hands right now between jobs, and I finally dug into it. I kind of just stopped everything else and I dug into JoJo's. It's like, but I thought, well, I'm really into it. Why the hell not? Why not, bring it to the attention of the group and see what they think? But yeah, like the premise of what we experienced in this first season, I like to think of it in like 2 parts. Is you have Jonathan Joestar from mid 19th century, the beginning of the legacy of the Joestar family.
I believe it was like 1883.
Yeah,
I think it starts. Yeah,
19th century.
Yeah. You said mid 19th century. That's like end of the 19th.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry, continue.
And his relationship with Dio, and where Dio comes from, and I think what the general premise of JoJo's is is generally is Jotaro, the one with the hair that melds into his hat and the long school coat. That's basically the face of JoJo's. And I think what makes the series cool is that you kind of go in with that expectation, but then you have to start. If you want to start from the beginning, you get the foundation, like the legacy of the Joestar name before you get to him. It's not just so much about him. And I think that's cool. And I'm at that point now, going and consuming Jotaro's content, and I don't know. There's also a personal motive with this, is that I really enjoy, if I find a creator, a concept I really like, I love to just immerse myself in that creator's entire realm of content. So it's been cool seeing him start from the beginning, because this was his first major project on his own, and as the head. Or no, I think I'm wrong. No. anyway, yeah, I think I'm wrong. But
No, yeah. JoJo, I believe, began in 1989.
yeah, it's been around a long time. I think it's like the longest running in terms of time. It's not obviously the longest, but like in terms of actual content, but the longest running in terms of time.
Yeah, let me see here. 1987, January 1st, 1987, was the first issue of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure came
Wow, JoJo's is 2 months older than I am.
out.
Okay, so yeah, that's ultimately the meat and potatoes of it. I think what makes it special for me is that like it ends up starting kind of tongue in cheek, kind of like almost overacted Shakespearean, and then it kind of grows into a more contemporary style, and I really dig that, like that level of I don't know if it was intention or not, but I love that level of creativity, like how each season has it. There's an overarching sense of plot, but within each season or each part of season, there's this differentiation in style, and I think that's just super cool. While it never like reaches too far away from the subject matter, I think it's really well put together, all in all, and I'm just super into it. Like it has flaws and things like that, and I won't go into all those because that's kind of like the point of the discussion. But as a concept, I'm really into it. I really dig it.
Can we start off about how amazing the intro is?
Dude, preach.
Oh, the CG intro that Tim hates CG all the time, but
Dude, like good CG is pure fire, man.
I like the fact that especially for the other, what I like to call the first season, the intro kind of helps you keep up.
Oh
if
yeah.
you watch it, it actually pretty much shows the key points of what happened. Without spoiling it, it seems to show the key points. It's really well done.
Yeah, especially for something that was produced in 2012.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
And you talk about the intro, I wanted to say something about the outro.
Oh, yes.
The outro, the song Roundabout, is one of the most perfect songs I have ever seen for an anime. Like the way it leads into the song at the end. Like it starts the song like a little bit before the actual credits start rolling, and then it starts kicking off like really fast. I freaking love it so goddamn much. I watch the outro all the time.
I prefer the intro song. I actually prefer the intro song to the outro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I have that outro in my head all the time. All the time.
So well done. And I actually read up on it. The creator loved that song so much growing up that he pretty much said that if there is an anime of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that is the song that he wants in the anime.
Oh, yeah.
Like either beginning, end, it doesn't matter. He wanted that song. Like that's literally like in the contract, I guess, of what he wanted for an anime of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And they got it.
It's like, if you're making my animes, it's got to have this song.
And I think what makes there's a level of thought that goes into the intro and outro as well. Like it's based on timing. Like if the episode is going to be more suspenseful, they just have the intro at the beginning, like the very beginning. There's no introduction scene. It's just the intro, and then it goes through the episode. And conversely, at the end, if it's a serious episode, they don't start that song until well after the last scene is done. Yeah. Like, because that's supposed to be kind of like a lighthearted move into the end. But if it's a serious moment, they never take away from it with the ending.
Yeah. Yep. With the ending, and they'll also use different parts of the song depending on the tone of the episode.
Yep.
It's masterfully done.
Yep. They put a lot of there's so much love in this show. Like mistakes, like issues, whatever. Like there's so much love put into the show. Like the adaptation is great.
My favorite use of that song was the episode right before Zeppeli goes to fight, in his final fight. Mm-hmm. And he realizes this is the moment that the guy foretold of his death. And you hear the sole guitar part of the song. and then like it stops and like there's a picture frame and he like throws his cape and then like the song starts kicking off right there. I fucking love that moment so much. That was a perfect timing of that song to kick in right as that scene ended. But yeah, sorry, you were talking about the intro and outro, Ben. Before.
Oh no, I just wanted to make sure we didn't forget it because it was so good. The intro was just I like the switch of the art styles as well because it goes into like what I would love to see Jump Force to look like.
Yeah. Oh, a game that looked like that, I would never play anything else.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The bit where they're on the stairs. That
Yep.
bit.
I do.
And it's cool because like later on in the season, you see like the color palette changes completely too for a lot of the scenes.
Yeah.
And like sometimes when it happened, they did it so subtly where like everything looked normal, but one of the characters' hair was different, and I'm like, did he transform? Like I don't. Why is his hair different, but everything else looks exactly the same?
JoJo Blue.
I thought that was cool. The random
Super
color palette changes, yeah.
Super
Well, a lot of
Sendo JoJo.
It seems like a lot of those palette swaps had to do with whether they were inner monologuing, if they were on a flashback scene, if they were direct contact, like direct conversation with one of the enemies, if they're planning, scheming. So it really kind of it gave it a lot more depth instead of just seeing everything looking the exact same. And initially I thought it was a little bit distracting, but as you get used to it throughout the episodes, it just kind of disappears, and it just becomes a part and a perfect flow, and it's just so weird to explain, but yeah.
And you mentioned a lot of the show has mistakes and problems and stuff like that. It really does, but the difference here between like this and other animes that have those same mistakes is I didn't care.
Yep.
Tim, you're going to say that you don't care right now.
It's because like the show itself doesn't take itself incredibly serious with obviously its dialogue and its voice acting. But even though there's a lot of serious moments in it, like I can't get mad or angry about these faults because I don't want to say I just brush it off as, oh, that's just JoJo's. Like, I just didn't care that there were mistakes because I just felt like that's the kind of anime it is.
It was basically the anime equivalent of an actor coming on stage and being so cheesy he pretty much eats the scene. Yeah, that phrase where he just eats the stage with like,
Yeah,
that's
and
what it
like
felt
you noticed a lot of them. Like I noticed how like when Zeppeli shows up for the first time and he starts teaching them about Hamon, and he specifically mentions like that's what he named it himself. Like he just made up the name Hamon. But then later on, like these ancient beings of 3,000 years old also call it Hamon. It's like what?
The Hamon users clan.
Yeah, Hamon user clan.
Zeppeli just made that up like 30 years ago. What the hell?
I shall call it. I am
clan.
having a ham sandwich. I shall call it Hamon.
Ham on my bread. Ha.
Ha
What a pretentious dickhole. Like he's like, man, I'm the only Hamon user left. I'm gonna say I created it.
Hey, there's no one around to prove you wrong.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that, but I didn't care. I noticed it, but I just didn't care. And yeah, it's just it's like, and the voice acting, like the voice acting is so out there. It's like something that was dubbed in like the 80s, like an 80s anime dub. Like it's essentially really bad, but again, it just works so well for this show that I couldn't watch the show if it was super serious.
It's very anime. I know it's an anime, but you know what I mean. It's very anime.
It's an anime's anime.
It's that anime where you go, oh, that's anime.
So that's where that started. Okay.
That's what it feels like to me. It really feels
it goes
like...
down to everything. It's like, how they have to tell you exactly what they're about to do.
Yeah.
Or as they're doing it, and they name all their moves.
Yeah, it's very anime.
Yeah. The name's is Speedwagon. When I heard that name, I almost died. I
Yep.
was like, is it really
how about-
Speedwagon?
How about Master SCDC?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
fantastic.
Or
Named after a band.
Cars.
or-
Just plainly cars. Cars.
Well, to be fair, it's not just the only band because you got Dio as well. Master, Dio.
and there's Master Ton Petty
Yeah.
Yep.
and his Heartbreakers, I'm assuming.
Good reference.
Yeah, everything. It's like the creator, like, loves, obviously music, as we noticed. The outro song, and he wanted that. The name of the characters. It's almost as if he made an anime that was based on crazy drug-filled rock and roll song.
No, that's basically what it was. I mean, it
That's
seems
what
like
it
all of his characters are named after amazing bands in the 70s.
And he can't really.
There was even Loggins and Messina,
Yeah.
the two teachers.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, it's just peppered throughout it. I'm assuming, like I said, I've only watched the first 24 episodes now.
Oh, don't worry, I'm on
But I'm
16,
assuming-
so.
That the series is just chock full of even more.
Yeah.
But when I first saw that there was a Richard E.O. Speedwagon or something like that, I'm like, oh my god, are we seriously going there?
It went there.
That was at the point where I was still on the fence on whether I liked the show or not. It took probably about 6 or 7 episodes for me to really get into it. Once they got to the mask part, that's when it just started getting over the top and goofy and.
Yeah.
And Tim, you said that a lot of us probably won't like the first half of the first season.
Yeah.
I actually loved it.
Yeah, I actually
loved-
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved
I wouldn't say
Zeppeli's
loved, but-
character. I loved as much, like, what was so great about Dio is one of those things where, like, they made you hate that character so much and all the shit that he did. Like, I literally despised every time he was on the scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I hope somebody kills you right now. And they did such a good job because they just made him a complete and utter douchebag. It's like one of those people that you just really just want to punch in the face every time you see them.
But
It's
he
like
was also.
political.
It was
Wow.
just so anime as well, though, especially with like, aha, I have stabbed you, but no, it's like, you have beaten him, yay! But no, you have not, because you have frozen me. But oh no, you have beaten him! Oh.
Yes, and that was one thing I hated the most. Is like, they never could kill him. Like, every time he just survived somehow.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it.
And
Just let him
now
die.
Dio blasts off
It just
again!
pissed me off. It pissed me off so much.
Gary, how badly do you want spoilers?
Let me guess he comes back.
No, I already know because I watched the original OVA series from '93. That was my introduction to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that started the JoJo that's Jotaro with the hat and everything.
Oh shit.
So I know about the spoilers because it was in the OVA. But see, I was taken aback when Dio appeared in so long ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, he has the mask, so it probably explains everything that happens way in the future.
Vampire!
Yeah, and that's the thing also, like, I was really sad that they kind of went away from the vampire thing in the second half of the season.
In fact, there's one scene that I remember that I loved, where it's like, they're like, and Germans have taken him, and then Judge was like, oh, Germans again?
Oh my god. Can we talk about how they made the Nazis the good guy?
Yeah.
That was a very interesting section, like that second half.
Yeah.
It's that peculiar dichotomy. It's like, we're really working with a Nazi?
The Joseph Joestar portion of it.
Yeah.
And it's like they are actually trying to stop the evil instead of trying to harness its power. Like, they tried at first, but then they're like, oh shit, we can't do this, so let's try to destroy it instead. It's like you start cheering for the Nazis in a way. It's like, and I gotta say, what's the Nazi guy's name? I always forget it. God damn it.
The
Von
general.
Stroheim?
Von
Stroheim.
Stroheim. I freaking loved his character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely loved his character.
I think
Like,
the way
the
that they
fake
handled
German accent just killed it. I was like, oh my god, more.
I think the way they handled him is thoughtful as well, because like in terms of writing, because they don't ever romanticize Nazism,
No.
but they romanticize him as a person.
They romanticize his love of his country.
Yeah.
Not the fact
Not
that they're
the
Nazis,
fact that
but
he's
just
a
the fact that he loves Germany.
Yes.
German science is the greatest thing ever.
That's not even that's pretty much what he sounds like. So
Oh, that's true.
Well, I watched the subbed version, but I can just imagine.
oh
I
my God,
watched
his
both.
voice acting is fantastic.
Yeah, I watched
You
both to
remember
compare
the-
them, and yeah, the dub version is just great.
Yeah, you remember the Russian accents in Yuri on Ice?
Yeah,
It's of that caliber.
that was good as well, though. I like that.
It's of that caliber.
You will be experimented on.
Okay.
That stupid anime laugh. Shoot
It's
in
like,
face.
how could he hear us? He can't hear us. Oh shit! There's the vents.
The vents. But yeah, no, yeah. So I actually enjoyed the pre-show, like pre-show. God damn it, the first half of it
Yeah.
from the 1880s. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
In a way, I actually enjoyed it a bit more because it was structured more around Dio and Joseph's rivalry, and whereas the second half of the season was more trying to save the world.
From those
Instead.
pillar men.
The Pillar Man, God damn it, who I thought were great characters,
Yeah.
except for the last one, who just irritated me because they branded him in a specific way and then they changed it and they took it all away, and I was like, God damn it! And it's again another fantastic way, in my opinion, of the writing that they did for the characters, where like you know they're bad guys, but you kind of feel like they're honorable, but then when this one does what he does, and you're just like, son of a bitch, I hope you die.
Especially in the group of three of them that awaken, where they could have killed him, but that they're like, you'll have a long life. You have a short life to live anyway. Just go get stronger.
Mm.
It felt very DBZ.
Hashtag.
It was more deep. It's anime. I know this Dragon Ball's anime, but it's anime Dragon Ball where it's like it's Dragon Ball.
No,
if Dragon Ball actually said it.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing. You're not worth my time, so you just go off, and then this person ends up going off and getting stronger, then comes up back and kicks their ass.
But rather
That's
than
exactly what happened here.
Yeah, but rather than just doing that, they say that they're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I go now because I want you to get stronger. Bye.
Well,
JoJo-
JoJo 30 days.
JoJo was trying to weasel his way out of it and try and
Yeah.
just escape, but then he ended up getting those little rings put around his windpipe and his aorta. That were going to dissolve and kill him if he didn't beat them.
Yeah. In 5 minutes.
You know what's really funny? Like, they would have dissolved and killed him, but once he took the antidote, they dissolved.
Yeah.
They still dissolved.
Well, they dissolved, but they were also anti-poison. So,
Yeah.
but it's anime.
Anime is
It's
plot
magical.
armor.
Plot armor.
Plot no jutsu.
Now, like, that's one thing I wanted
It's
to talk
super
about
effective.
in comparison between the two. Is like you have Jonathan, like the over the top like knight in shining armor character, and then you have Joseph, who's the more modernistic, I do what I want, it's my own terms kind of character.
And a little bit of a womanizer.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
I mean, he's probably nowhere near as bad as some of the others, but still, it's a huge step up compared to Jonathan.
Wasn't the other guy that's the speed guy a bit more womanizing?
Speedwagon?
Ario Speedwagon basically turned into a eunuch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically turned into a eunuch.
Well, he got rich, so.
Yeah, but he never got into another relationship.
Sure.
He never went out.
The other thing about that character the other character that he met to train by, I don't remember who the name was, because it was in the restaurant. Yeah, remember in the restaurant scene where he meets them and he's flirting with them and he's like, "Aha, I will throw these things at you," and then he's like, he used Hammond to reflect it back.
Oh yeah, that scene destroyed me. Okay, when
Yeah.
when I first, because I read the manga first before I saw this scene, and
Yeah.
I was reading this scene. He's like, "Oh, whatever," and he's really gonna try to stab him with noodles.
Yeah.
Okay, so he shoots these noodles, and I see the noodles get shot back to him. I'm losing it already, and I flip the page, and he sucks the noodles out of the wine glass. Like, and I had already lost my shit at that point, so I was literally on the floor. I showed Crystal, and she about lost her shit.
Yeah.
So when I finally went to watch it again, she walked downstairs to see that scene start. She went, "Oh, is it this scene with the spaghetti?"
Yeah.
Why is my
love that
spaghetti
silly
black?
Yeah. Why is it black?
What?
Is it?
Did you put ink in it? Well, yeah, but it's fancy ink. Oh, sweet! But like to go into this thing again, like you have the knight in shining armor character, so he's very like not chauvinistic. He's very like my God, I can't think of the right word. Yes, thank you. It was in the same kind of sound patterns. He's very chivalrous, very none of himself. He's for everyone else. He's of the people. But it makes him a very singular character. Like he's very just isolated in everything and straightforward and kind of just like I don't know, like a one beat kind of character. Kind of distant, like nobody really is like that, and if they are, nobody likes them. It's just how it is. But you come across somebody like Joseph Joestar, who's charismatic and always, like he's super confident and always playing the world based on his terms and even predicting it, like with just sleight of hand and things like that. It has a different energy and it kind of makes him more likable.
I know you would shoot me again at that same spot, so I stood next to a mirror to reflect it back at you. Ha ha.
Nah.
You know what's funny? You say you like him, but you don't see the comparison of him and the character you hate the most in Dragon Ball. Yamcha.
Don't compare it.
Are you really going to compare
Joseph
Joestar to Yamcha?
The original Dragon Ball Yamcha was just like him.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Go watch it again.
No.
Gary, that's your bias showing.
Oh my
It's
God.
Yamcha.
Yeah, Yamcha sucks, dude.
I'm not saying Yamcha sucks, but
I am.
Yamcha sucks?
I think you guys need to go back and watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I think I need to actually watch it.
Yeah, you should actually watch it.
You should watch the original Dragon Ball. It's actually really good. Yeah. Except for Yamcha. Yamcha has one cool scene. Yamcha wins one battle. And that's about it.
In the entire run.
Yeah.
I'm talking about his attitude.
What? Scared of
Not
women?
him winning all the time. Oh my God.
I know how he is when he first comes across him and gets him trapped in that sinkhole, trap hole.
Yeah.
But then he loses his shit because Bulma's a girl.
Yeah, Bulma's got boobies. He's, oh no, boobs! Ah.
Which is already the first, lack of comparison between the two characters.
Wow.
Man, I didn't think we'd ever get a comparison between Yamcha and JoJo, but here we go.
Yeah, is that a JoJo reference?
God damn it.
But
Yeah,
I
So can a
know,
Cyberman beat Dio?
I doubt it. Even if he floats.
I mean, one Cyberman is one Raditz, so...
If he can find a way to get out of a lava eruption, I'm pretty sure he could get away from a Cyberman.
True, probably.
But I bring this up because it was a good talking point, and it kind of really put words into the things I was thinking at the time. Because Crystal watched it with me, and she kind of had trouble with the first half, just because of it being kind of stilted in its delivery and kind of just not as personal.
It's a bit slow.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
I was just say it's slow but fast because it's like it's really slow, but at the same time then it tells you everything that's happened, like instantly.
Yeah,
it's like
It keeps its own pace, but it helps you keep on pace.
Yeah. I knew you'd say that.
But once we got to well done. Is that a JoJo reference? But once we got to Joseph, like after the first episode, she said, "Okay, I like Joseph a lot more because of this." It just went on, like basically the things I said.
I like his Tommy gun.
Oh.
Where did he get that? I don't know.
Where did he pull that from?
From his butt.
It's the same way. It's the same place that Snake hides his guns.
Yeah, from his butt.
His butt.
Yeah, like all the fight scenes for him though were just so perfectly designed for him to get out of these impossible situations. And it's like it gets so ridiculous at some parts where he's like, "I'm thinking ahead of you," and then the guy's like, "No, I'm thinking ahead of you twice," and he's like, "I already have thought way farther ahead than you." He's like,
I have thought of so far ahead of you that I thought of ahead of you.
Like
Thinking
5
ahead
steps
of me.
ahead of like, if I do this, he'll do this, and he'll do that, and then I'll catch him with this instead. It's like, what the hell is going on half of the time?
I think that shit is so cool though, because there's no way I could think like that. But like, I think I really got a fondness for his style when he was fighting. I think it was Cars, when they were walking on those spikes. They were fighting on top of those spikes, and he had.
That's AC/DC.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And he's fighting ECDC, and he put, he had unwoven his beanie to have this string of stuff interlaced within the stuff so that he could trap him eventually. And I think the coolest part about that whole thing is that he compensated with slip knots in just how he laid it and interlaced his weaving so that they could be cut and still do the job. That was like next level. And
Did you say slip knots?
I don't know what kind of knots they were, but they're like they become knots when they get tensed, when they get pulled taut.
Well, no.
And it's
Well, the way he
basically-
designed it was he designed it so knowing that AC/DC would be able to see what he's doing. So when AC/DC would cut the knot, the thread, he had tied it in a way where even though he cut it, it'd still be connected to each other from a different angle.
Yeah. So like when it pulled, they would
Cross stitching.
knot up, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically technique in knitting.
Yeah. I know because
And I
I
loved
took
it.
home economics. I know how to knit.
I actually just learned in the last week or
And
so.
I'm pretty sure JoJo never went in there yet, so somehow he knew how to do it.
But look at him. He can do whatever the hell he wants,
He's
man.
JoJo.
He's
Well,
Yeah,
he knew how
he's
to
JoJo.
unknit.
Haha!
Yeah, you knitted it, so you knew how to put it back together again.
Yep.
Science.
One thing I was sad about was I felt like they got rid of Straight So too quickly. I would have liked if he stuck around for episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably even maybe helping them at the end. Because Straight So even knew like the dangers that the Pillar Man held. Like he even warned JoJo about them and how he himself was actually afraid of what would happen if they awoke. I think it would have been cool to have, Straight So as like the third guy between him and Zeppeli, kind of take on this trio of Pillar Men.
Yeah, but then how would then Lisa would be left out in the cold?
Yeah, but Lisa really wasn't there to fight until the very end.
There's a reason though.
Well,
You
yeah,
get to
there
that
is a
at the
reason. No, I understand that, but I just feel like Straight So's character, he went from being this cool good guy, in the past, and then just randomly became evil because he didn't want to age him. I think they could have kept him around for a bit longer because I just thought he was a cool character personally, and he obviously cared about JoJo. He cared about him to the end, even though he knew he had to kill him.
That is one thing I appreciate about this show, though, is that it's not afraid to kill off characters that it creates. Like, not all of them, right? Because, like, the JoJo's are going to have plot armor for as long as it needs to, but Like
Yeah,
even
until the end of the series, end of the season.
Well, yeah, but even Jonathan Joestar died. Like
Yep.
that was the first Joestar. He died. So like when you see the first main character die, you know that there's a potential that the next one could die.
Oh man, that shit pissed me off so bad. Like, Dio's head is essentially more dangerous than his whole body was.
You saw
Just like,
AC/DC,
what the
right?
hell,
You
man?
saw what he did, right? AC/DC.
I saw what he did, but come on, this is Dio. He doesn't know what the hell the kind of power he has.
He's still powerful.
I just thought it was funny. Like, he posed more threat as just a head than he did when he actually fought.
Well, he's also
But-
more angry when he got his head chopped off. That's for sure.
Yeah. And even then, he essentially got himself killed because he kept telling them how much he respects JoJo and to kill him quickly so he doesn't feel any pain. Essentially buying him time to come up with a plan to stop him when he could have just ended him right there.
But that was the flaw with both of them. Like they were both incredibly fond of each other because they grew up together, even though they had a general disdain for each other, an intense disdain, in fact.
Yeah.
They still had a profound respect.
You got to remember he was going after Jonathan's body, so he wanted that to remain intact. So that's part of the reason why he wanted a quick death, so that way that he could take over and have as little damage to his "quote unquote" new body as possible.
Also true.
But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed JoJo's Bizarre.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I
And
really enjoyed it.
I had a feeling I would because I enjoyed it back in '93. Even though I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" It was so goddamn weird, but it was cool to see how it all began, where it all started from, rather than just
Jotaro.
yeah.
Yep. Like I said, so basically my knowledge on JoJo's at this point is Jonathan and Joseph. I'm not really familiar with the current iterations of JoJo's.
Yeah.
However, this is probably going to lead me into watching more of the newer versions of it, getting caught up. I have 2 more episodes to go before finishing the
Is there
first...
a weekly? Do you know? A new season?
There is a new one, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm tempted
find
to
out
add
what
it to
that
our
one-
weeklies.
We'd have to get caught up. We'd have to get
there's a
hella
lot
caught
to
up.
a lot to catch up.
I'm not talking like now, but in a month
So-
or so.
Yeah,
No,
they're-
so pretty much, Ben. Right now, I believe season 2 is over.
Yeah.
It's 65 episodes long.
Yeah.
Season 2. It's all subbed. You can watch it all subbed right now. On I don't know if Crunchyroll has all the subs,
Crunchyroll
Um,
probably has it.
but the English dub of it is going on right now on Toonami. Like they're
Yeah.
airing it live. They're up to I believe episode 26. So as of right now, you can't watch the second season dubbed until I guess Toonami's
Done.
contract
Yeah.
thing is done or whatever they have. So, but you can watch the entire second season sub. It's all out. It is over. So I don't know
Okay.
when season 3 is gonna start. Or
Well, the most current one in Japan is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, and they are on episode 20 of that right now. I think it just finished.
oh, okay, well there you go.
So anyway, we'll end the show here.
Mm-hmm.
How
How about scores then?
Yeah. Gary, out of 10.
9.5 for me.
Klaus.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
I'm probably going to go with a 9 as well. Tim, I know it's your show and your love, but still.
I don't know, like just because of the way the first half of the season was paced. I'm kind of looking back on it in comparison to the second half. I think I'm gonna sit with an 8.5.
The guy who loves it the most gives it the lower score. Man,
Well,
how do I breathe?
But the average score in the room is 9.
Still a 9.
yeah, still a
The
9.
average score is 9.
That's a go watch it, I believe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everybody who's listening to this, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. If you're looking to get away from your serious anime or harem anime or anything else, JoJo's is the show for you, man.
Yeah,
This
if you
is
want to watch a posing anime, go watch JoJo.
yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is like the early animes of the before anime became popular.
Yeah.
That's what JoJo's is.
So, Klaus, it's your chance to choose what we watch. Pick our poison.
Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting.
Please don't say second season of
Oh,
my
sorry,
God.
guy.
No Sword Guy. No Sword Guy.
No, the anime that I'm gonna choose is from Netflix. It's between two of them. It depends on which one has not been watched by the most people. First, I'm gonna start with is Devilman Crybaby.
Oh my God, I'm in.
That sounds cool.
I
Have
haven't
you guys
watched
watched it yet?
I want to. I haven't.
So okay, there we go. My pick for you guys is Devilman Crybaby.
Have you seen it, Gary?
No. I've
Yes.
seen the original Devilman.
You are
Yeah,
in for a
otherwise you
treat,
still-
guys. Whoa!
Whose phone's
Speaking
that?
of in for a treat,
That happens.
that's the Devilman calling.
Yes.
Is he going to
He
blow
wants
up
his
your heart
crybaby
because
back.
it's not got good in it? Dragon Ball
Yep.
reference.
Is that a motherfucking JoJo reference?
So the synopsis of Devilman Crybaby. With demons reawakened and humanity in turmoil, a sensitive demon boy is led into a brutal, degenerate war against evil by his mysterious friend Ryo.
I love that sentence, sensitive demon.
Demon boy.
Demons are sensitive creatures. Man. They've been hated since day one.
Is that boy with an eye? Yes.
Boy!
No. Boy.
Just out of curiosity, what was the other anime?
The other one, well, actually, I'm going to save that one. I think
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so...
I've talked about it in the past, but yeah.
As you're talking, Klaus, have you got any shout-outs?
Well, of course, I want to shout you guys out for having me on again.
Yay.
Thank you so much. It's always good to talk anime with you all. Shout out to Anime Detour coming up in the March. March 29th to 31st in Minneapolis. If you're going to be there, stop in, say hi to me. I'm actually running a So You Want to Be a Podcaster panel. So that could be interesting. Shout out to everybody listening out on the podcast. Thank you for joining us and enjoying my God voice. Or maybe that's just Gary.
No, that wasn't just Gary.
And if you want to hear more of that, you can check out our other podcast, Phoenix Down Radio, at www.phoenixdownradio.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter at PHXDN_KLAUSS.
Nice.
Gary.
Gary.
Does this Devilman have as much sex as the original?
I don't know. I never watched the original, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Gary, you got any shout-outs?
Sorry, man. Oh yeah, shout out to you guys.
He's got his priorities figured out.
Yep. As always, shout out to Alfonso. Shout out to Chris. Miss you both very, very much. Hope you guys can come back very soon to these podcasts. Yeah, you can reach me on Twitter at Gagaloosh. That's GAGLAUH, or anything else that might have, social media aspect.
Tim.
Fans, of course, it's always going to leave with you because you're the reason we keep doing this. You guys are great. Thanks for listening. Please do watch JoJo's because even if you end up not loving it or liking it, it's still a big part of the anime culture. You'll know You'll know if it's a JoJo reference or not.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
And
Pretty much everything is a JoJo's.
Tim.
Even that.
Yeah. How can I contact you?
You can go anywhere basically and type in Timberelli, Timberelli, and find me.
Okay, now I'm going to end this podcast with 2 disappointment pulls on Dokkan Battle. Let's see how we go.
Oh my God, man.
We're summoning. We're doing this. We're going into this summon screen. Come on, now loading.
Everyone's going to get the shaft live.
Let's see. Listen to me get shafted live on air.
Wait, you're downloading?
Loading. No, loading. Oh! It's Vegeta, but there's no Vegito, and it's SS1. All the shafts.
I pulled better on shitty looking.
Well, I just pulled 3 SR Vegetas, 4 SRs. Oh, look at all these SRs.
Yes.
Oh, give me all the shafting live. Oh,
All
fuck
the
yeah.
shaft- All
Oh,
I need
yeah.
an adult.
SS, physical Goku. Oh. Let me do
Oh, that's the best card ever.
Let me do my free summon. All the summons.
It's
This stings.
Yamcha.
This stings.
Oh,
I'm very uncomfortable.
shout
right
to Vegeta, Krillin, the best combo. Oh shit, they fused. Vegeta. Man, will I get some extra spice from my disappointment shafting?
Extra spice.
Here comes Super Saiyan 3 Jody Goku.
Hey, I don't have him really yet, so. Jacko, you'll bring me luck. Oh, Vegeta again, you'll bring me luck. Oh, fuck yes! SS4 Gogeta, I'll take that.
What? You got one finally? Yes!
Yes, at last! I was like, oh yeah, go Vegeta. Oh, fucking Gogeta, what?
What?
Okay, let's keep going.
Hashtag chili hats.
Finally. And physical great, so yeah, that'll do. Who gives a shit? I got you, baby.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, dude.
And that's how we end this week's podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
With Ben's orgasm.
For context, Ben has been trying to get this Gogeta
For like a year and a half.
6-7 months, maybe longer.
2
Yeah,
years.
Year and a half. 2 years.
Maybe like-
Jesus.
It's
And
been
I'm spent.
84 years.
And now he finally had. Good job, man.
Now I have to farm his
Congrats.
medals. Bye.
Worth it.